All right, I'll call to order this October 21st, 2025 board meeting of the Lynn Bed Lincoln Education Services Board of Directors. All right, welcome and introduction. So, welcome everyone. And if we want to go around and do introductions, actually, Lori, we'll start with you online.
I'm Lori Greenfield, and I am representative of Zone 2.
Thank you. And then just so everyone's aware, we do have a little bit of a lag with Zoom. And then we'll go ahead and just go around the table, starting with Hyro, if you don't mind.
Hyro, cybersecurity technician.
Hi, Tina Lynn, program coordinator for early childhood. Sorry, I always say EIECST, and that comes out so
it just rolls right off your tongue.
Yeah, start it.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, we get it. I'm Denise Coffin, so now she, her, and I'm board rep for Zone 4.
Michael Thompson, Director, Zone 3.
Bill Hayes, representative from Zone 1.
Amy Vetter, pronouns she, her, and I am the board representative for Zone 5.
I'm Jason Hay, I'm the superintendent.
Miriam Cummins, she, her, Aya, and I am board representative for Zone 6.
Eddie Symington, board candidate for Zone 7.
Perfect.
Nancy Griffith, assistant superintendent and executive director of district services.
Jones, executive IT officer.
Christina Wonderly, executive director of human resources.
Ware, executive financial officer.
Executive assistant board secretary.
Thank you. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next up is monthly acknowledgements.
Okay, so if you turn your attention to pages 5 and 6, I put together the October acknowledgements here, honoring identity, inclusion, and well-being. And this, when you go through and do your research about the various important acknowledgements for the month, this is the biggest month in the whole year for all the different things. And what's really interesting, I think, is that when you look at the list, you will see the ESD through and through this list. When you look at augmentative and alternative communication, and you look at Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Bullying Prevention, and I mean, there's so many different things. Physical Therapy Month, mental health. I mean, there's just a lot of things that we do, and I think it really is a nice representative list. So I want to celebrate that, and please, as you have conversations with people, pass that along.
All right, next up, public comment. Lisa, do we have any? Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on from there, the consent agenda. Anyone have questions or comments? Whenever we're ready, I'll
I move to accept the consent agenda.
Second?
All right, it is moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda for this month. Any discussion? All right, those in favor say aye.
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 Those against say no. All right, it has been unanimously moved to adopt the consent agenda for this month. All right, and then up next on the agenda, years of service recognition. So last month we had discussed, although we were missing a couple members last month, so we wanted to bring it again before the whole board. We wanted to find a way to recognize David Dunstan from Zone 7 for 30 years of board service for the LBLESD, which is super, super amazing. Like, that's something not many people are able to do.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
So I did want to pass on, I spoke to, previous board chair, Jean Wooten, and she had known David, served with him for many years, and so her suggestion that I just wanted to bring to the board as a suggestion, would be a plaque honoring David and his years of service, and then, a reception in his honor, where, kind of maybe towards the end of the workday, where LBL employees can celebrate, David's years of service. She suggested one at the main location and then also perhaps one over in Lincoln County, because that's where he has connections, that's where he lives, so.
Yeah, it's a great idea. If that is something the board would like to see, certainly staff can work on putting something together like that, and we can find dates, that will work for the board and,
For David.
and for David, yeah.
All right. Everyone comfortable with that?
Yes.
All right. Fantastic.
All right, we will put some things together, and you'll be hearing from Lisa and me about that. Great.
Okay, and then next up is to review board candidate application for Eddie Simonson, right?
Correct.
Just wanted to make sure I was saying your last name correctly. And then interview too, we invited you here tonight for an interview too. Yay.
Would you like him to have a set of the questions?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So if you'd like to be able to follow along with the questions they're going to ask you, Eddie, and my suggestion would be if you just go through the questions as chair and then keep it moving.
Perfect.
But everybody should have a set of questions, and if you want to take notes on that, feel free to do that.
And then we had a copy of his application in the packet, so we've had a chance to look at that. All right, so we'll just start with the first question. Eddie, why are you interested in serving on the ESD board?
Well, because of my long history with Lincoln County School District, I am pretty familiar with the ESD. Early in my time with Lincoln County School District, I was a registrar, Walport High School, campus monitor at Crestview Heights, worked 21st Century After School program, but the point in that is that as a registrar, I worked closely, sometimes, I'd like to say daily, but there were times where it was probably 4 times a day, with the ESD help desk. And that's where I was first introduced to the ESD and started to grasp what it was an ESD did for local schools. So I played a pretty key role with some of the help desk staff, Mickey, Sandra, Deb, in implementing and rolling out the very first online registration that we ever had. So that was great. So why do I want to serve on the ESD board? Well, I believe in what the ESD does and in providing services to districts that would likely otherwise not be able to accomplish some of the things that they would like to do or are required to do.
Yeah. Second question, all right. What is your understanding and expectations of the role of an ESD board member, and how are you prepared to serve as a board member?
Well, serving as the executive assistant and board secretary for the Lincoln County School District Board, I am well aware of what a board's responsibility is. Pass a budget, pass a calendar, hire superintendents, all of that. So I have a pretty good understanding and expectation of the role of a board member. And I think that as a board member, it's our job to do the best we can to support our superintendent, who support the staff and the mission of the ESD. How am I prepared? Well, I serve a board and a superintendent, and so I think that pretty well prepares me.
Thank you. Okay. Answered this a little bit already, but please tell us what you know about the ESD and the services that we provide.
Sure. Answered a little bit of that in the first question there. I think some of the things that blow me away the most about an ESD and those services, and I was lucky enough to get to know some of the occupational therapists and different professionals that came from ESD into our schools to work with a myriad of students with different backgrounds. I think the one that I was always the most surprised with was the support given to our students with vision impairment. I didn't really fully grasp how much support they needed and how much of a, for lack of better terms, I don't want to use the word drain, but how difficult it can be for a school or a school district to provide all of those, whether it be technology to help them, the study and learning of Braille, just all of the different things. And that was where it was incredible for me to watch an individual come in and work with one specific student that I have in mind that I know without a doubt would not have otherwise had any services. And so I have a pretty good idea of the different services that the ESD offers, but the impact that they have on our local schools and districts is just pretty impressive to me.
Question 4, describe the most challenging situation dealing with equity, diversity, and inclusion that you have faced. Give an example of what you did and your reflection of the situation.
That's a really good question. I think that equity, diversity, and inclusion is some of the most important self-work that we can do. And I think when I think back of some difficult situations or when I have maybe said something, not understanding its implications, or misunderstanding the best way to say things, to be inclusive. A difficult time I can remember standing in the hall at the district office and one of our directors stopped me in the middle of what I was saying and said, that's not how we would want. And that's difficult to hear that at first, but I'm very open to learning. And so I would say that would be an example of a difficult situation where I was in, where I had to reflect and then change my behavior. And I think that self-work is something that we can all never stop working on.
Can we ask follow-up questions? Yes. Are you aware that the LBLESD has an equity lens?
I am.
Okay.
I am. Yeah. I will say I haven't studied your equity lens, but I look forward to learning a little bit more about it and how it's applied to the different decisions the board makes. That's interesting to me. The lens, I think in theory, we'd like to think about every decision that is made is looked at through the lens. And yet there's times where we can forget that. And so I am glad to see that there is one, and I'll be glad to learn a little bit more about how the board uses it in making its decisions for the district.
Okay, so question 5, tell us about how you manage yourself during times of conflict or disagreement with your colleagues and or staff.
Well, most times I would consider myself a little bit black and white, a little bit square. So I like to think through, I like to have all my ducks in a row. So managing myself during times of conflict would look like me thinking, gathering information, being certain of whatever decision might be before, and then addressing it, because I don't like things left unfinished. I don't like conflict. I'm not afraid of conflict. And so I think that an important part of handling conflict is making sure that it gets closed, be it the way you want it or not. I think that's an important part of, conflict resolution, right? We can have the conflict, but if we don't close it. So that's kind of how I manage myself, gather the information, and see something through.
Thank you. All right, and then lastly, what questions do you have for us?
I would probably turn question 1 back around onto the board and say, what are you interested in a board member?
Do we get to answer that? Like each person, each board member gets like to do a little, what, I don't know. Board chair, madam, I put it on the floor.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Sounds good, if you wanna start.
Sure. I'll be on the spot. I think for me, what I am looking for in a board member is someone that is very much understanding of the values and missions that the ESD holds. And also knowing that, we are here for the students, and that is our priority. We want to make sure that our students are successful, and that we support them in all the ways that we can as an ESD, and also to support our district. So someone that is able to see things in a way, think outside the box, because sometimes when we come together, we're trying to draft ideas, and we need everybody's input. And so everybody always contributes to something unique, and I think that's what makes us work together. And so that's what I am hoping to see in a board member, so we can collaborate and work together. Oh, I did it.
Thank you, Miriam. Likewise, somebody who shares the values of the ESD, and who is and has their heart in the right spot, who really has a heart for putting the kids first, because that's ultimately who we serve. And when we have to make those difficult decisions, you know, that's our North Star for why and how to proceed forward is with keeping that in mind. And then also, just like we were talking about disagreements, somebody who can civilly talk through, like, sometimes we have moments of tension, sometimes we don't agree on things, somebody who is able to participate in civil discourse, and then also somebody who is a good team player, who is good at building positive relationships with others, because sometimes we have to make, you know, big decisions, difficult decisions, and we work best together if we work well together.
And my inspiration for running, and I was newly elected this past May, and never thought I would run for anything, being my age, and because I was already critical of the GAF school board for being just a bunch of old white guys, and I think I'm older than all of those guys. But anyway, I also worked at GAF as a classified employee and saw a lot of that tension and things that were not pretty, but saw people fighting for students and putting them first, and that's where I became acquainted for the first time. I didn't know what ESD was until I was driving kids on a bus to this building and wondered, what is this? And then just kept hearing more and more of the good it does and how it connects our students and families and communities across all these counties, literally from the Cascades to the seashore. And I want to be part of that and wave the pom-poms that I can bring to let people know about this equity, inclusion, diversity that is so much under attack right now in our country, and preserve that.
Thank you.
Now, I'm preaching, sorry.
Yeah, it's all very good. I think much has already been said. I want to highlight something, you know, Vince Adams talked about in our training. You know, I want someone who believes every student can learn, or comes to the table believing every student can learn, can succeed. You know, just an honest actor when you're here with no agenda items. Unique, you know, people, each of us have a unique set of eyes we view this large district in. And being able to explain, you know, we're representatives of the public, so be able to explain, you know, within your circles what an ESD does and the services we provide. Yeah.
I think very similar to what others have shared, especially around like sharing the values of the ESD and centering children and their families as well. I think to someone who's curious, you know, like who wonders, like why does this even exist, like why is this here, and willing to question it as opposed to just following whatever the status quo is. Someone who is a collaborator, you know, so who's willing to work with others, even if we don't have necessarily the same idea, but yet willing to work together. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Lori?
If I heard the question correctly, it's about why I am on the board and what I'm looking for in a board member. I wasn't exactly able to hear it.
That is correct, Lori. Yep, you're right on.
Okay. Well, I think that a lot of the things that have been said cover that. Though I do appreciate the range of services that the ESD provides from my educational background. I too appreciate the business components as well as the technology support, as well as how the ESD supports students and teachers and instructional assistants and principals. It's the whole gamut. And just understanding the value coming from a rural district and other districts. I've worked in a range of districts. I can't say enough good things about how the ESD has served me in my career and the people around me. And so I want to be, I'm new on the board as well this year, and I want to be a learner and a contributing member to this team. And I'm open to collaboration and all the things that have been said.
Thank you.
All right, discussion regarding the board candidate. Board members?
I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think Eddie would definitely add, that value that we are looking for as a board. And so he has the experience and knowledge of what it is an ESD does. So I think that's very important, but also has ties to the community, which is something that to us as an ESD is very important, to have community members, have that connection with someone within the board, because he is working with students and families, so I do add a lot of value to that. So in my opinion, I do see Eddie as being part of our board, and so I would love to see Eddie be part of it.
I had the privilege of calling all your references and
Oh, good.
it was a great visit with every one of them, and I can share those things with you later or now, but whatever.
Yeah, just brief overview maybe?
Sure. I'm Liz, 5 years at work for the school district, and all three of these folks were former school board members, and worked with LCSD to develop their own equity lens, bringing new perspectives from a young person's point of view, strengths through hard work, curious, excellent follow-through, weakness, hard for Edward to say no, excellent at connecting with people, good at public relations, always ready to help. You have to meet him, and that's happening tonight, so I'm thankful for that. Amanda, also a great history of working in her camp seasonally, and just is going to miss a hard-working person as a summer employee. Also is enthusiastic to describe you as a sharp thinker, excellent with people, mature beyond your years, good at de-escalating situations, could not think of a weakness. Everyone loved working with him. And then the last person I visited with, and help me with the Scintilla. And she was delightful, and I want to go see her work on the coast, so maybe you can, I would love to come over and have you take me there. She has known you since childhood, she said, and knows him also as a volunteer in her literacy center in Walport, and very affirming of LBL's equities lens and making Edward the best person to represent LCSB and the students served there. And so I told her, I do want to come and see your work over there.
Let's do it.
And so I'd love to meet up with you for that.
I'll hand deliver you.
I appreciate it, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
100%, 100% in favor.
I appreciated what you shared about, like equity work and the self, you know, how important that is, so, yeah.
I appreciate that as well, and yes, the community ties, I think, are really important. Understanding just how important ESD services are to small districts that wouldn't be able to access, or those students that wouldn't be able to access the services otherwise. I mean, glowing reviews from your references. I am ready to entertain a motion, whenever the board is ready.
I move to appoint Eddie Simonson, Zone 7 Board Director, term from October 21st, 2025 to June 30, 2027.
I second it.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded to approve, or to appoint Eddie Simonson for the Board 7 seat. Is there any further discussion?
Welcome aboard.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those against say no. All right, it has been approved unanimously. Eddie, welcome to the board.
Okay, so we have one official,
Yes.
congratulations. We do need to do the oath of office, and so I'm going to try to do better than I did a couple months ago, but the call and response with this, so you can have the paper to go along.
Thank you.
So I state your name,
I, Eddie Symington,
do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and the policies of Lynn Benton Lincoln Education Service District.
and the policies of Lynn Benton Lincoln Educational Service District.
Henceforward and retroactively,
Henceforward and retroactively,
I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities
I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities
of the office of board member to the best of my ability.
of the office of board member to the best of my ability.
Very good.
All right.
Congratulations. Thank you. All right, well, you can sign that, and I will sign it, and it is official.
Great.
Welcome, welcome.
Great, we have a full board again.
Yay!
All right. Give this to our board secretary before I lose it. There we go.
And for, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question.
Yes, yeah.
Is it just D?
Yes, so,
Okay.
yeah, I could actually, you want me to give just a
Yeah.
brief? Yeah, so for our next section, we're going to be going into the executive session, and I'll have Amy read that will be official, but the first one, Section A, to consider the employment, we actually don't need that one. I was thinking we might need that call out, but we're not going to be doing that one. And then the last one, to consult with counsel concerning current or possible litigation. Our attorney couldn't be present for this one, and there isn't any time constraint issues with that, and so we're just going to reschedule that. So we're really just looking at, you are correct.
Okay,
Thank you.
good, just wanted to make sure.
Yep,
All right,
I'm glad you asked. Thank you.
we will now recess into executive session per ORS 192.660 sub 2 sub D to conduct deliberations with